Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer. In today's episode of Midlands to London, we're going to be continuing with the Midland mainline build, and we're hopefully going to get East Midlands Parkway and Loughborough railway stations built in this episode. In the last episode we built Derby railway station, and since then I've done a little bit of work to the track from Leicester up to Derby. I've basically 4-tracked it where it needs to be, a bit down there just as it comes out of Leicester. It's just 3-track for a little bit, and then it's 4-track pretty much all the way up to up towards Trent Junction, which we built a couple of episodes back. So we've got Loughborough. Well, I've just got a temporary station because what I wanted to do is I wanted to get some trains going on the Midland main line. So we've got trains going into Derby now, which will help with Derby's growth. And yeah, Loughborough, obviously we're going to rebuild that in this episode, and Leicester, which we built a few episodes ago. And then we've got the track pretty much down to there, so obviously we've got a little bit of work to do on the Midland main line, but I just wanted to get this whole northern section finished off first. So I think what we'll do is we'll pause the game just before that train gets into Loughborough, and we'll rebuild Loughborough. Actually, no, let's not just demolish it, let's just work with what we've got. I think let's get rid of that because it's not a particularly grand station, Loughborough. It's just 3 platforms. It's a little bit of a weird looking station, if I'm honest. Well, not weird looking, but it's, with only having 3 platforms, it appears to be a little bit limited. So we're going to go with what we're going to go with. She'll go with NL for this one, and then I think for East Midlands Parkway we'll go for King's Cross because we haven't used that for a while. So I think, yeah, we'll just, yeah, didn't need to get rid of all those platforms really, did I? But never mind. Let's chuck these along here. I've got the wrong drawing. That's a good start. I think, what do I want to do with this? Because it is actually a weird looking station because this platform here is angled, tapers off, but I think I'll just have it like this. Maybe just with one segment missing like there perhaps, and then we want some steps. So yeah, just some steps there, nothing too complicated, and then a little bit of roof. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not there's not much more to it than that, other than the track, which I think I'll use the older looking track. It looks, well, obviously Google isn't updated that often, it might be a couple of years old, but the actual up down fasts appear to be kind of new concrete sleepers, but the up down slows appear just to be kind of wooden sleepers at the minute. It looks quite old, or could have been replaced, but I'm just not that sure. So let's get rid of all of this track. So we don't need any more track on that platform because that's the only side that's going to have a platform face on it, so you can just put standard track alongside there. But I think I do want to finish this station first of all, don't I? Getting a bit ahead of myself. So passenger building, looks like it's got quite an older, smaller building on it, so I'll put one of them on and then 2 little bits on the side. Now I've kept Loughborough. If I just bring up the UI, can I demolish as much as I would need to demolish without this being upset? Let's just check. I haven't yeah, there's still got the commercial zone there. Let's just get rid of that as well. Just want to try and make this look a little bit realistic. So it's not particularly complicated by any means, but yeah, just want to put a little bit of a road in there, and then that into there, and then we'll just chuck on road connection. Now, is this going to let me put some parking here? Yeah, no, that's ugly. Can I do that? Stop it. Just parking, that's better. Oh, that's actually a lot better. Yeah, so that middle bit there just appears to be full of parking, so that's all good. Right, next we'll finish. So that's it. That's pretty much Loughborough. Couldn't see any benches, couldn't see any other buildings of significance, just that. That's it. So we'll get on and attach the actual track, which is not that's platform. Track and a little bit more. Yeah, so all of this track here appears to be quite old looking, but I think I'll keep it as is on those sections there. Right, good. So I think for this bit though we will use the older style track with, obviously it's got catenary. No, we don't want catenary, do we? No. Right, so then this just kind of goes into there. Yeah, it's a strange old arrangement, isn't it? Yeah, you're electrified. Don't want you to be electrified, nor you either. Is that taking away all the catenary? Looks like it has. Good. Right, a bit more track. So we've got, actually we'll put this road bridge in here first, which is pretty much on top of the station. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Actually, I've turned on 0 height bridge, but you still get a collision. Oh, no, that's too high anyway. If I lower that down, does 0 height bridge actually mean I can just chuck a bridge in at whatever height I want? So it does. Let's try and lower that down again. Collision. No, that's not generating a bridge there either, is it? I think you might have to do a game restart for that to work, perhaps. So we're just going to have to put the bridge in the old-fashioned way, something like that. That seems a lot lower than usual. Don't know if that's got, so if zero height bridge has got something to do with it, or if that's normally how low bridges are. I'm going to take it though, I'm not going to argue with that, I don't think. Get rid of this road here and that road that we just put in. Yes, we want to own it. Wants to come down to the ground. Not quite as severely as that though. Right, and then why are you a bridge? Is this the mod doing its thing? No, it's just me. No, it is. It's the mod off. Okay, dokie, so I've always assumed that the zero height bridge didn't work, but obviously what it does is it turns your embankments into bridges. I didn't realise that. To be honest, I never really gave it enough time to see if I could get it to work, but obviously that's how it's supposed to work. So that's a lesson learned. Right, get that into there, and then obviously another little bit coming down. Does that mean the bridges can be lower? I don't know. Not going to worry about it. Right, a little bit of road like that, and we've got to keep Loughborough, which is great. Next thing is we want this little bit of track which goes off along here, so we want another bit of track. Curve this in. Too much curve. Right, where curve? Wants to be quite a tight curve. Right, a little bit of track, and then get rid of all of this. I think maybe if we downgrade this with no catenary, please, and then we're just going to chuck in a little bit of a switch, and then there's another switch. So basically this platform, well, that single platform is for both up and down services by the looks of it. Well, it's the only way it can work. So you got this switch here basically, so trains can come into this platform, and then there's a switch on the other side obviously, so trains can exit. Right, so we'll chuck that in. We'll do all this as well, so I don't know where this goes. I think it's pretty much disused completely now, but we do want another little bridge. No, we don't want one of those, we want one of those. 3, just pressing shift and tab just until I get that absolutely perfect height for the bridge, which is something a bit like that, and then we're going to just can I swing that into that? I can. We'll take that then. I think we'll just keep that on an embankment, and then this road, it doesn't actually go anywhere, but I just thought it was a little interesting quirky bit, so we'll keep that, and that's pretty much that side done. So next thing is this side, so we want some more high speed track for the up down fasts, and then I think we'll do something similar. Now that's merged into the side of that. Don't want that, do we? Right, where's the track? There. I think we're going to have to delete all of that. Right, so a bit of track and a bit more track, just connect straight into there. Should be straightforward, and then this runs alongside into there. And we'll do the same sort of thing, so we'll have a little bit of the old wooden sleeper track, but I can't imagine the up down slow is all wooden sleeper track. It's you know, it's part of a main line. I would have thought by now it would have been upgraded to concrete sleepers and continuously welded rail, but this bit definitely did look a lot older. Right, so we've got that in there, and then we've got a little bit of track. I'm guessing this kind of line here has been left the way it has because there are kind of railways coming into it, like this one. It looks like this is definitely an active junction, active freight line. Didn't pay particular attention to where it goes, but it does look like it's active. So this line here will probably be used for freight trains, I imagine. Right, so let's get another little bridge. So where are we? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you're on a flat piece of land, I should write that down, shouldn't I, actually? So it's 3 big ones and 5 little ones. Obviously holding shift, and then I use page up and page down for my bridge heights, and then we'll just have another grey girder bridge in there. And then we'll have, I'm owning all of these roads. I don't really want to own them all, just want to own the approaches just to stop the game trying to build anything. Right, and then another little bit like so. It'll connect you up to something, and then you can go off and do something. Yeah, you're not particularly connected to anything, but it's just important to have those bridges in. Right, so immediately after, get rid of that train, my view stopped. Let's get some signals in there. So we'll have one. I know you don't need signals in stations, but I think it just looks a little bit better, doesn't it? This is all just straightforward. Oh, no, it's not. I can't see. Right, so we'll have one there, and then another one on the approach. Yeah, stations will act as block sections, but only for trains that are stopping at the station. So sometimes everything's just stopped. Have you just given up? Right, so let's go on Overall. Right, so what is going on? So we've got Leicester, Loughborough, Derby, Loughborough, and you want to be on platform number 2. And now it's broken. Don't know why it's broken. I don't think we're going to have, and tell you what I have done as well, they're just 2-way, which is probably not helping the issue. I'll fix that in a little bit. I did have to do some playing around with actually setting waypoints on signals because it wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. So right, okay, Loughborough branch of all my signals, so we'll have, look, it's nice and straightforward, nothing complicated at all. No, there's something complicated on that main line, not to worry, I'll fix that later. Shall we fix it now, actually? Yes, I don't know what's wrong with you. Right, so you're up, down, yep, all up, downs, up, down, yep, this is all fine, I don't know why it's complaining. Right, so let's get rid of that one. Let's see if I can add a station stop. So you'll come into there, fine, that's all good. Could probably do with another signal though, actually. Why haven't I got a signal? This is all plain line, there's no junctions or anything. Apart from a switch there, that's fine. Let's just put a junction on there, a signal rather, and then that's... Right, okie dokie. Yeah, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. Right, so these are up-down pairs. That's fine. These are up-down pairs as well, I imagine. And then I think, yeah, you're 2 downs, and then I've got this signal. Don't know why you're an up. Two ups is what we've got. That's all working now. I think I can get rid of those. Just helps when you're trying to fault find if you just add the a waypoint on a stop on a signal, and then you can kind of fault find, and obviously there's little things like that. So basically I think because the track goes from 4-track to 2-track, or to 3-track rather, and I think it's 2 downs, two ups. Up is towards London. It's very confusing. Yeah, so that's all good. Right, I mean, it's not the end of the world because it's just a temporary line at the minute, but just want to make sure those trains keep running and keep serving the various places. Right, so let's get in a little bit of road. Don't need to own it. Just want to chuck in this just to encourage some development. What's that doing to that? That's all right. I'll take that, I think. Just chuck in a road connection and maybe a few other little bits of connections here and there. And then I'll chuck in a bus route of some description. I think we'll just have, can't imagine any development's going to happen down here. We'll have a road down here anyway. Yeah, because this side of the track of Loughborough is all kind of industry by the looks of it. So that's Loughborough done. I was going to move Loughborough further south. Things are still broken, apparently. Oh, never mind. But by the looks of it, actually Loughborough is quite close to East Midlands Parkway, so we don't need to worry too much. But before I move on, I almost completely forgot. Are the switches? Can I get these trains out? At least that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, so you're moving off, that's fine. Get out the way. Right, so we want a little bit of track. So from here we've got a switch down there. Doesn't really matter about the speed too much. Another switch and then another one like so, and I think I'll upgrade this like I always do. Upgrade my switches. I may as well have those relatively, yeah, I don't like switches having a mixture of concrete and wooden sleepers. It just doesn't look right. I think that's it. I think we just need to re-signal the approach. We've got enough space there to stack a train, haven't we? So that's all fine. One-way signal, zoom into there, chuck a signal on there, and then obviously you've got your up here, and then this is another up, and this is your down, like so. And then we're going to have signals on here, so I think we'll have that 2-way, one there, and then maybe one just here as well, hopefully. And then actually this signal needs to move, that one. And then we want a up signal as well. And we've got your up down there. We've got bidirectional. No, we don't. We won't put any. No, we won't. We won't put any signals there. I don't think. We'll leave that as is, just because it's going to confuse things if there are any services that actually use those platforms. So right, that's Loughborough pretty much done. We're going to move on now to East Midlands Parkway. We've built the trend very close to it. I think we've got to probably move that. So get rid of most of all of this track and get rid of all of this as well, and all the way to where it's 2-track. Good. Right, and then we're going to chuck on a station. So I said we're going to use the King's Cross, didn't I? That one. King's Cross, catenary, no. High speed, yes. 240 meters long, and we will chuck that on about there. Actually, yeah. I've completely forgotten as well, haven't I? This needs to change its name just to Loughborough before I completely forget. Right, so let's get this configured. So tracks. Again, it's quite a simple station, this. It's just got what this time it has 4 platforms, as you would expect. So we've got the long platform for the mainline services, and then we've got the little short section, let's say about there maybe. Yes. And then if we go with passengers, oh right, okie dokie, yeah, they want to be facing the other way. So if I get rid of that, spin the station around. I think this is how you get the steps to work on the other way, is if you actually spin the station round. So let's just try that first of all. Configure. It's not the end of the world, but I do like my steps to be actually at least facing in the correct direction. Yeah, so if you spin your station round in the first instance, then you can actually get the steps to face the way you want them to. Good thing to check just before you actually place the station. So where were we? It was something a bit like that. Yes, and then bit of track. This will all be modern track along here, I think, because you know it's a relatively newish station. Do I want to put another little bit on? Should be alright, I think. And then I need to put platforms down this side as well, don't I? A bit like that. And then obviously platforms on the other side as well. Very important. Good. Right, so next thing is the lift. So we'll put in those like so. I think we'll put in, didn't really look too closely at it, but I think we'll put maybe some benches down the middle. And then, no, I think we'll leave that. And then we just want the roof, which is that one. And actually no, there isn't really a roof on that side, which is a bit unusual, I thought. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's not really hugely complicated, this station, but I think what I will do is I will just put on a little building there, and then we'll chuck on some ticket machines, and then we'll put a little bit of roof on, and then we'll go to passenger building, which is that one, and we'll chuck on some of these buildings here. So if we go with one of them, no, see, you're just completely different, aren't you? Is there a matching building? There is. We go with something like that, and then is there a little one to you? You're quite big, as we have an autosave. Okay, yeah, because all I wanted to do was just make this a little bit more accurate. So I think if I chuck those on there, then back to these ones. So there must be pairs, I think, of particular buildings, are there? So there's like a matching one, because I just don't want ones, right, no, not that one. Or we'll just have a canopy right along there, I guess. It's not the end of the world, just wanted to try and make that building look a little bit accurate, something a bit like that, and then we'll get all this track in. I think all of this track here is just literally plain line, there's no switches or anything leading to the station. I think we'll just knock some of this back a little bit, just to make that look a little bit nicer on the approach. Don't want it to be too much of a roller coaster. Put that into there, and then can we swing these tracks in? No, maybe not then. Okay, we'll have those go alongside, and then straight into that one, just touches it, and we still end up with a decent speed coming out of or into the station, which is what we want. Right, so next thing is get a couple more bits of track. I think we'll bring this round as we delete the tunnel portal. Right, let's do the same. I think we'll have a little bit of track running alongside. I mean, this does actually, I think this probably should have been a little bit closer to the tunnel portals, but I'm not going to worry too much. Yeah, that's about right. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Other than there are two bits of track coming off here. Let's just make that nice and flat, like so, because we do have a power station. Now this river definitely does need to move before we go any further. So flatten, turn up the strength, and then we'll just have this river kind of miles over here, I think. Probably really don't need the river at this point, but we will have it anyway. You might be able to see it from the train window, so I guess we should put it in there, and then we will just smooth some of this off, smooth this approach track off, smooth these banks off a little bit, just try and get rid of some of those angular things that you end up with. Yeah, that's fine, we'll leave that as is, but this wants to be flat, I think, like so. And then we need a road. So first of all, we've got a little road, so let's flatten that off, and then let's do this 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Apparently gives us a perfect bridge, which it has done. Great. I think that probably looks like an older sort of bridge. Is this a bit too far away from the station? It is. Let's try that again. So probably more like here. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Still seems really high. Can I? Yeah, it's not a hard and fast rule, I don't think. Right, get that in there. Get that in there, and then we want a big road, which is the A453. Let's just chuck that across there, and then this wants to be, because I think this is a more modernish road, so we'll just go with the barrierless, the pillarless concrete, and then this can go off somewhere. Not entirely sure where. Actually, I didn't look which side the airport's in, because I will build the airport, because that's the whole point of the Parkway station, is it connects to the airport, does it? But we don't want that. We want to put a bit of flat bit in, just completely flat for a little bit. Doesn't need to be that big. About there. Is that straight? It is. Maybe a little bit shorter, just flat, right, and then you can come down. like so, and then we'll connect this road up. These roads here would actually be grade separated junctions, but I'm not going to put those in. You know, I'm not doing that basically in this series because it's not that much fun. And then this comes down to the car parks and to the station, and then obviously there's bus facilities and stuff for people to be picked up and taken to the airport. Just smooth some of this off a little bit. I'll do a little bit more of that later on. Good, so we've got the basic bones of the Parkway in. We want a little bit of road. Actually no, we don't. We want a roundabout first of all. Street construction roundabout a little bit bigger than it needs to be, about there, and then some straight street, something a bit like that, and then get that connected up. No, all right, we've deleted the whole thing now. Right, so let's just raise that up a little bit, connect that into there. Good. Right, and then we just want a little bit of road completely on the flat again, actually all the way out, and then we will downgrade this to street, but we will upgrade this little bit, I think, just to about there, just so we got just so the buses can go a tiny little bit faster. Yeah, so what will happen is the buses will come in and turn around here, but all I wanted to do was see if I can actually build a car park without the actual game trying to ruin it. It wants to be quite a big car park, and then kind of just get rid of that. The only thing I don't like is, now this is going to ruin it, it's going to wreck it. Yeah, it's not liking that at all. Let's see if I can just do that. Now there isn't a road connection there, but I think it probably just looks a little bit better. So it is actually a Parkway station, as the name suggests. So you're not Loughborough, you're East Midlands Parkway, and that's all good. Right, the only other little thing I wanted to mention before I kind of wrap this episode up is do a little bit more smoothing, is I subscribe to the power station assets. Now I wasn't going to do this really, but looking at Google Maps, there's loads of assets. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, that's that one. I think it does have its own little tab. So yeah, I've subscribed to the power station assets. Got some nice wind turbines. That's not really what I'm looking for though, is it? Car park, no, it's no multi-story. Now I could search for this, but it has a funny name, a German name I think it has. Let's just have every single asset available to us. I think it is just one icon, and then basically you go from there. I've definitely turned it on, I know that much. You're just those, come on, it's got to be here somewhere. Because all I want to do is, I'm not going to build the power station in this episode, but there it is. Let's just, it's just, ooh, don't crash. Ooh, flipping heck, they're big. Are there any smaller ones? I mean, yes, but let's just take a look at Google Maps. I mean, they are enormous in real life, but I don't know if that, I think the scale just feels a little bit off, but I think it'd just kind of be a shame if we didn't kind of nod to the Ratcliffe Power Station. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe if we get rid of 2 of them, yeah, maybe move that one along. Get rid of you. Just thinking, I mean, this railway isn't going to be used, I don't think, but it would be nice just to have it visible. Right, so let's try maybe having them a little bit, try and straighten them up as well. Yeah, so there are 4 huge cooling towers, but I just don't know if that's a little bit outdated. They look enormous, don't they? I think we'll just have, get rid of you and you and you as well. Right, so let's just, I think what I'll do is I'll put a straight road in along there. On the, no, just want to be on the flat. Actually, let's get rid of you. Try that again. Right, so terrain, let's just flatten this off to about there. Yeah, Ratcliffe Power Station was supposed to be decommissioned, but I think it's going to be one of the standby power stations for this winter, in order so that the lights don't go out, which is a little bit scary. But yeah, it's on standby. I think coal deliveries will be taking place again, but it could well end up that the coal isn't used or something like that anyway. So I think what I'll do is just chuck in just a few of them, just to kind of give a nod to the power station. I might at some stage build the power station itself as well. But yeah, we're not going to be having coal trains, I don't think, coming in, because I don't think it's accurate. Although saying that, it is 2011. They didn't start to wind down until much later on in the year, so perhaps we could have coal trains on it just for the fun of it. I'll have a think about that, because I don't know where the coal trains come from in the first instance. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do on that little bit, was kind of just put that in, and then obviously I've got to figure out where the airport is. Is it? Am I just making this up? No, it is a considerable distance from the airport, isn't it, actually? It's a bit like Liverpool South Parkway is supposed to serve Liverpool Airport, but it's just kind of like, it's miles away. It's at least 10 minutes on a bus or something like that. I mean, it's not miles and miles away, but yeah, so we've got the Trent coming down here a little bit. and then we've got the airport on this side, and then we've got a bus connecting to it. And I will build the airport, we will have the bus links, and we will have all of those things, but I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll leave you with a 222 going into Loughborough, and then I will do a time lapse. If I get time, I'll do a time lapse of me just kind of finishing this off and making it look a little bit more attractive. But I'm going to leave it there for today. Say until next time, bye bye.